Music.
Put it.
Oh my god. Your tablet.
Go to my tablet.
I'm prepared.
Yeah.
It's dead.
I told you that.
How do you say? Almost dead.
It's dead. Okay.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah, turn on the one like 50 seconds.
I'll just wait. Alright, guys. So, are you ready for the tablet charts? I see the chat. Today we got a 5080 build. You have the invoice? This is another customer's build. We're going to be building an O11 Vision. We're building in like other cases. This time we're going to be building in one of our O11 Visions. It's going to be a pretty easy build. Has standard black fans. Has the CPU is going to be a 7800X 3D. The motherboard is going to be a Strix X870. It's going to have 2 terabytes of storage of NVMe. It has our 360 VRLA Tech AIO. It's going to have a 850 watt power supply by MSI. And then we're putting it with the 5080 Zotac. So it should be a pretty easy build. Let's see if I can get a chat over here. Let's see. Let me see if I can get Twitch chat as well. Let's see. Profile. There you go. Perfect. You put it right here for now. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the motherboard. I'm gonna put this. These fans behind me for now. Oh, then for RAM, we're gonna be using a 32 gigabyte 6000 by T-Force, or their Delta RAM. These 60 over here. It's a pretty easy build. We've been doing a lot of RGB RGB builds. This one has standard black fans. We got our ROG Strix X870. Really nice motherboard. All right. So these plastic from here. I really wish I could leave these for the customer, but we do stress test the computers pretty heavily before we do send them out, so we don't want the plastic or any causing any type of static. So we remove them ahead of time. All right, let's go ahead and install our CPU. All right. Now we got our T-Force Delta DDR5 RAM. Let's see, where I leave my knife? There we go. Nice and easy. I'm gonna go ahead and be installing our NVMe in here. There we go. Go ahead and start Team Group NVMe in here. Nice and easy. There you go. Plenty of space for many more NVMe slots if you did want to put more. All right. So now we got our motherboard. Then we got our CPU, RAM, NVMe in. Now let's go ahead and put it in our case. So I'll move this to the side. Get our case over here.
Where's my phone?
All right. So we are gonna have to shift the motherboard frame down just to be able to fit 8 fans in this case. So we're gonna put 2 on the side here, our radiator with 3 fans here, and then 3 fans at the bottom right here. Pretty easy. You just remove these screws, remove all these screws, shift it down, and then just screw it back on. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Just remove all the screws on the side here. I have one more screw here that I can't take off with my hand. Pretty easy. The whole thing just literally comes off. Then you just push it down. There's other slots right here to latch it on at the bottom so it holds on. Slide it in there. And then just screw everything back in. And this bottom piece that goes down here, you just shift this up here on top to remove this blank space. Then you just put all the screws back, not back where they go, but back where you can see that you can screw it in. Typically, just shifts down just one. All right. Go ahead and get our screw box over here. We can put our motherboard in. All right. And then we're not gonna have to mess with anything with the standoffs or add any. They all line up just like this with this motherboard. There you go. Go ahead and screw in our motherboard screws. We just need 2 more, and then we'll have the motherboard fully installed. Alright, we got the motherboard installed. Now let's connect the cables for the case onto the motherboard, just so we can get those out of the way here. I like to remove these brackets that Lian provides and then put them on after, at the end of the build. We got our F panel cable here. There we go. I'm going to connect our Type C. And then our audio. We do a little bit of cable management here. In this case, you get a lot of space in the back. So you get a lot of room to cable manage here. And then you also get like these little like circular in the back where you can put the zip ties in. And then just grab your cables and zip tie in the back. Alright. So we got those cable managed. Darian, how much did everything cost? I don't know the exact price of this build. How much is typically like one of our 5080 build costs, right?
That's Helios?
Yeah. So I don't know the exact cost of this build. It does have
It starts at 3.1K. 3,100.
yeah, so it starts at 3,100 for a 5080 build. This one's probably a little bit cheaper than like going with like Lian fans and stuff like that, since it does have just standard for black fans. So yeah, they do start off at 3,100. So now we're gonna start off putting these bottom fans in here. Pretty easy. It's 2 screws at the bottom of the case. Unscrew it and then this comes off. Okay, so put our 3 fans first. These are our regular VRLA type standard black fans. gonna be putting these bottom fans as intake fans. And then we're gonna be putting these as these two over here in the back right here, exhaust. And the back radiator ones, we're also gonna put them as exhaust. And this last fan here. All right, so we got those three fans down here. Now all we gotta do is route these cables. Should get them together actually. Make it look nice and neat in the front. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that, but I simply just grab all the cables, put them to the middle, just so it looks nice from the front, so you don't see all those cables going out through each one. Now I'm gonna route them to the back of the case and slide in the bracket back into the case for the fan. All right. Let's put these two screws back in the front here. Perfect. Now we can put the two back ones over here. Get those over with as well. These two. All right, we got those two fans in. Now let's go ahead and work on our AIO. We could put it into our case as well. I'm actually gonna grab these cables here on top. Just like that. So this looks like it's gonna be the only thing that's gonna be RGB besides the RAM, and the motherboard has a little bit of RGB as well. Just... All right. Let's go ahead and install these. Can you give me an Intel bracket for the AIO?
Yeah.
You know what those are? When you walk to the thing right here, very bottom left, bottom left. It's gonna say Intel AIO. Yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, an AMD one.
Oh my god.
Right next to it, it's like right next to it should be
Yeah.
AMD. Thank you. All right, now let's put on our bracket here. I'm gonna screw these on to the motherboard. I don't know if you guys can see. With the pre-applied backplate the motherboard comes with. All right. Now in our AIO, we're just gonna connect these two onto the back over here of this. Tiny screw. The bottom one. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and install it onto our case. Maybe screws onto this side. You can also remove this little thing that holds these back fans back here or the radiator. But I typically just like to align it how I want it and then just screw it in. This is basically the same thing as I did the bottom fans down here. You can take out that bracket, install your fans or your radiator. But I typically just do like this with it on the case. It's a little bit easier for me. Got the AIO installed. Now you need to install the pump onto the CPU. Pretty easy as well. I just got to install those four little circle things onto the back plate of the pre-installed back plate on the motherboard. Now to install it with these screws for the AIO. Let me undo these cables as well. I'm just gonna lay flat. Pretty easy. Then just hand screw these onto the motherboard. All right, now I'm going to connect the fan cable from the pump onto the motherboard. I was going to do a little bit of cable management here as well. All right. So that gets routed over there. Bend this a little bit so it stays intact like that. Now let's route our AIO fans to the back. All right, so we got all our fans in. Now, time to use our got some fan splitters. Each splitter has 5 connections, so we'll do 5 and 3. We'll be using 2 fan splitters for this. So, just have to connect the fan splitter to the motherboard here. The front. Then I'm gonna connect the 3 bottom fans and 2 side ones here to this bottom piece. So like this. So we got those bottom ones and then 2 right here for the radiator. I'm gonna get those 2 back ones on the back and the last one on the radiator. So I'm just gonna route another fan splitter here to the bottom of the case of the motherboard. Sorry. Motherboard here. Now with this other splitter, It's gonna be 3 fans. Yeah, it's only gonna be 3 fans. And then we'll go ahead and put our power supply. Do a little bit of kill management here. There we go. I'm almost done with the kill magic back here with just the fan. And I'll show you guys after how it looks. We're gonna get the RGB for the pump here. It's the only thing that's RGB, so we're just be using one motherboard RGB splitter for this build here. It's gonna go straight into the motherboard. I could also connect to the bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna connect to the bottom. Just give it like a little cleaner look on it. There you go. Now I think we are gonna put this game a little more. There you go. So I am gonna put the GPU first, just because there isn't that many cables in the back. I typically do it last, just because we do have a lot of cables, but this time we don't. We don't have any RGB. Reasons are Zotac Gaming Overclock Edition, OC Edition from Zotac 5080. All right. Let's go ahead and remove the plastic off this GPU. So I just got this one here. Yep. This one. We're gonna need 3 slots for this GPU. Pick those brackets up. Slot this GPU in. The camera turned off. Screw the GPU back in. Yeah, I think we got the camera fixed too. Alright. Now we got our power supply. Now, just for the power supply, we just need 124 pin. Our 12-volt high power for our GPU and 2 CPU. We have no SATA. Let me see the motherboard. Does the motherboard need? No, the motherboard does not need any PCIe power. So we just need our 12-volt high power, our 24 pin, and 2 CPU. That's one. Our second CPU. SATA. Here we go, CPU. Couldn't find it for some reason. Alright, let's get all this connected here. Our CPU. Other CPU. Our 12-volt high power. And then our 24 pin. Alright. Now we just need power supply screws for the case. Alright, got 2 here. Three. I just need one more. Four. Then place in our case. Really easy, a lot of space. Already cable manage our fans, so it makes it easier for us to put in that power supply, so we don't have to deal with any of that clutter of cables with our fans. All right. Now let's route all of our cables now. So we're gonna have our GPU cable, our CPU cables up here. And our 24 pin. Let's plug in our CPU cables. Pretty cool how this MSI power supply comes with its own integrated combs into the cables. Let's see. All right, now let's get this one installed as well. Zip tie these just to make it look cleaner in the front. Even though it has the combs, I'm just gonna make it look like it's one. So just give it a clearer look. There you go. Let's put in our 24 pin here. Just like that. Then we'll also get our GPU cable here. Just that. Plug it into there. Also has its own little comb here. Back a little bit. Push back any extra cable we don't need from here. All right. Now I'm just cable managing back here. Just a little bit. These power supply cables are also thin, so it makes it easier to cable manage. A lot of power supply cables come like that braided comb material on them. These are way skinnier and thinner than those, so it makes it a little bit easier to cable manage and to zip tie, just because it's not too bulky. All right. So that's the back of the case. So you guys can see the cable management there. Pretty easy, really easy case to cable manage. Even if you have low RGB, no RGB, Lian Leaf fans, IQ fans, gives you a lot of space in the back. You can remove those hard drive bays, gives you a little bit more space if you want even more space to cable manage. Yeah, but let's go ahead and turn this on. There isn't going to be any RGB, but you guys can see the fan spinning and also there's this back door in the back just to cover up the cables. I'll go ahead and turn it on for you guys. Pretty quick build, easy build. Not too much to it. Pretty simple build, black build. You guys have any questions about the build? Just put it in the Twitch chat, YouTube chat. I'll be happy to answer. Yeah, look, so all the RGB is on the RAM, AIO, and some on the motherboard itself. And then on this AIO, you guys should take this off. Remove like this little chip. So I can fix it. There you go. Yeah, really nice build. Just standard black fans. Little to no RGB. And your glass case. Really nice case, really easy to manage. I think we're done, right?
Done.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm done. All right, guys. If you guys don't have any questions for me, we'll see you guys next week on Friday. Most likely we'll have an RGB build. This was just a customer that requested their build to be streamed on live. They got a nice standard black fans, 5080 AMD build. But yeah, we'll see you guys next Friday with a different build. Stay tuned. Hope you guys have a great weekend.